Page 452. An early morning scene seen by you continued. Many people were walking in the park. A cool breeze blew. The green leaves of the trees whispered in the wind. The birds had already left their nests and were flying in every direction. The sunrise was glorious. On the way back, I witnessed a lot of activities. There were some people busy with various exercises. In another corner, a yoga teacher was teaching yoga exercises. Some youths wearing white shirts and khaki shorts were learning martial arts, MARTIAL. Thus, this early morning scene brushed away the cobwebs of my mind. I had tasted the elixir of life. Since then, I have become a votary of early rising. Word notes. Sorry. Please delete this. I should continue from page 453. Page 453. A visit to a seaside town continued. We refreshed ourselves and had a hearty meal. As all of us were tired after the journey, we took an afternoon nap and later in the evening went for a walk. I first caught a glimpse of the sea through the branches of the trees. Soon we turned a corner and there lay before my eyes a vast expanse of water of different shades of blue and grey that glistened, GLISTENED, in the setting sun. I ran towards the waters and soon the foam, FOAM-crested, CRESTED waves started kissing my feet. I could feel the shifting sand under my heels as the wave receded. We were up at dawn to enjoy a fascinating sunrise the next morning. The beauty of the seashore here is that during ebb, EBB, tide, it is as flat and wide as a football field. The tourists, TOURISTS, use it like a highway, their cars cruising, CRUISING, along the shore on shallow waters, leaving a spray in their wake. I felt it spoiled the beauty of the beach. However, a cool breeze was blowing, adding to the purity and magic of dawn. Far away into the sea, some fishing boats could be seen. Soon the time came for our departure. The thought of returning to the same old monotonous life made me sad. But I would say that this visit to Mandarmoni, far from the quote, madding, MADDING, crowd, unquote, has been one of the most refreshing experiences of my life. Word notes, shimmering, chick korche, azure, AZURE, akashi rong, gobbing, GOBBING, up, গপ গপ করে খাচ্ছে, glistened, চকচক করছিল. A journey by boat points, introduction, the boat in the midstream, scenes in the evening, scenes when the moon rose, conclusion. It was a pleasant autumn evening. We hired a boat from Ahiritola Ghat. We were bound for Belur. The boat reached the midstream. The riverbanks of Howrah and Kolkata looked brilliant as the lights started twinkling one by one. The Robindro Setu at a distance looked great. There were specks, specks, of clouds in the sky. They looked reddish in the light of the setting sun. It left a purple glow on the flowing river water. Darkness succeeded daylight. I remembered Tagore's poem, quote, Devotar Grash, unquote. In that poem, the river was stormy, but now the river was glassy, GLASSY, and calm, CALM. The air was fresh, romantic, and a pleasure to breathe. We saw several steamers packed with passengers with bright searchlights proceeding towards Kolkata. I saw 2 or 3 ships in anchor, ANCHOR, and dozens of fishing boats here and there. In the meantime, the moon rose. It was a pleasant sight to see the play of moonbeams on the calm water. There was a dead calm all around us. In the words of Wordsworth, quote, this holy time is quiet as a nun breathless with adoration, stop, unquote. I was still, silent, and filled with great joy. A sense of peace was dawning upon me. The river flowed on in solemn grandeur. When we reached Belur, it was already dark. People flocked to the temple to see the evening arati. We joined them too. Page 454. After the arati, we got back to the boat and returned to Kolkata. This boat journey offered me a sweet escape from the drudgeries, DRUDGERIES, of daily existence, at least for some time. Word notes: cruel, nishtur, crawling, chupishare chola. A journey by train points. Introduction, description of the journey, your feelings, description of your compartment, conclusion. Once I read a poem, I still remember some of its lines, quote, all of the sights of the hill and the plain. Next line, fly as thick as driving rain, semicolon. Next, and ever again, comma, in the wink of an eye. Next line, painted stations whistle by, stop, unquote. From a railway carriage by R.L. Stevenson. A journey by a speeding train is an exciting experience. One day my father announced that we were going to visit Shantiniketan during the winter holidays. I was simply thrilled. On the scheduled SCHEDULED day, we reached Howrah station in the morning. The Shantiniketan Express stood majestically at the platform. I managed a seat beside a window. Soon the signal was green at the far end of the platform. Within a minute, the train began to move. Then it picked up speed. As the train thundered on, the rattle of the train wheels made their own music. I looked outside through the window to get a view of the nature outside. The train was passing by harvested fields, meadows, MEADOWS, and small ponds. Through the window, the world outside looked like a motion picture. Everything looked very bright and pleasant in the morning sunshine. I was spellbound to see the fantastic wild beauty of nature through the window. The breeze was gentle, fresh, and a pleasure to breathe. It was pouring into our compartment from outside. I looked about my compartment. Father was flipping FLIPPING through a magazine. Mother was chatting with an elderly couple. The hawkers and vendors were selling various foodstuff. FWDSTUFF. A beggar was singing a song while begging. In the meantime, the train reached at Guskara, GUSKARA station. After half an hour, it reached Bolpur. Thus ended my first train journey. Word notes: obsessed, OBACSSED, Oti Agrohi. Appointed, Nirdishto, manifested, Prakashito Holo. Individuality, Bekti Shatantro. Flipping, Pata Ulta Chilo. Din and bustle, Hoichoi. A journey on a crowded bus. Points. Introduction: huge crowd on the road, caught a bus. Situation inside the bus, pickpocket. Conclusion: today all buses are crowded, so any journey by a bus is not an easy one. When passengers get up or get down at the bus stops, it always creates a problem. It provides a golden opportunity to pickpockets to practice their skill. They quietly rob the passengers of their belongings. The other day, I decided to visit my friend Amal's place by bus. As usual, the bus was packed to capacity. Some passengers were hanging on the rear guard rails. The lucky ones managed a foothold. As I cut the bus, the fellow commuters pushed me in. One gentleman was carrying a suitcase with him. It caused great inconvenience to others, but he was unperturbed. UNPERTURBED. The other passengers became angry. The man got into an argument with others. A young man forcibly threw out the suitcase. The gentleman shouted in rage. A perfect pandemonium prevailed. The bus conductor remained a passive onlooker to the situation. A traffic constable intervened. He ordered the gentleman to get out of the bus. The man left the bus with loud protests. The noise subsided. The bus resumed its journey. But I had ill luck that day. My stop was coming near. As I started pushing my way ahead, I knew I had been pocketed, POCKETD. I do not want to repeat this experience of a horrific journey, HORRIFIC, in a crowded bus. Word notes: pickpockets, pocketmar. Quarrelsome, jograt, dash, দৌড়, hanging, ঝুলছে, commuters, নিত্যযাত্রীরা, pandemonium, হুলস্থুল, passive, পরোক্ষ, jab, খোঁচা, unperturbed, অনুত্তেজিত. An open-air picnic enjoyed by you. Points. Introduction: your merrymaking while journeying. Description of the picnic spot. Enjoying lunch. Hours after lunch. Conclusion: a picnic allows us to enjoy ourselves in the midst of nature, in capital. Recently, some of my friends and I arranged a picnic at a spot near Thalkobad forest at Chaibasa. The place was chosen because the beauty of a forest is really fascinating. We boarded the Ishpat Express at Howrah. During the train journey, we were merrymaking and enjoying ourselves in various ways, often singing in a chorus. Quite soon, we were at Chaibasa. The day was fine. The sky was clear and deep blue. Bird calls echoed across the forest. The beauty of the landscape spoke for itself. The air was fresh and filled with the pleasing fragrance of wild flowers. A blissful solitude was prevailing. We prepared tea and took it with some snacks. We also carried with us musical instruments like a mouth organ and a guitar, G-U-I-T-A-R. Sudhir, a friend of ours, played the mouth organ and guitar. We enjoyed to our heart's content. We left the two cooks to do the cooking and prepare lunch. We entered the Thalkobad forest. Our eyes were drawn to the golden beams of the sun that peeped through the branches of the trees. A brooklet, B-R-O-O-K-L-E-T, was flowing through the forest. Sunbeams dappled the river with specks of light. I wondered like kids whether this was in reality a vision or a waking dream, stop. 2 hours later, we came back to our picnic spot and found everything ready for lunch. After a hearty lunch, we enjoyed recitals of songs, poems, and humorous couplets. Sudhir's performance as a singer really called for a special appreciation. APPRECIATION. Sudhir and I prepared afternoon coffee and some snacks. Page 455. We packed up around 5 p.m. and boarded the train back to Calcutta, gossiping and laughing all the way. To one who has been long in city pent, it was a blissful day. Word notes: fragrance, shugandho, golden beams of the sun, সূর্যের সোনালি রশ্মি, dappled, ছিটে লাগাচ্ছে, performance, অনুষ্ঠান, appreciation, প্রশংসা. 3. Paragraphs on autobiographies. Some expressions conducive to writing paragraphs on autobiographies. 1. We serve them without expectation and sacrifice our everything to support them. আমরা কোনো প্রত্যাশা ছাড়াই তাদের সেবা করি এবং তাদের সাহায্য করার জন্য নিজেদের সর্বস্ব ত্যাগ করি। 2. Oh my master / my life is fulfilled and full / I remain to you ever grateful. হে প্রভু, আমার জীবন সম্পূর্ণ ও সার্থক, আমি চিরকাল আপনার কাছে কৃতজ্ঞ। 3. Life is not only a bed of roses but also has thorns. জীবন শুধুমাত্র ফুলের শয্যা নয়, এটি কণ্টকপূর্ণ। 4. O death, come and get hold of me. হে মৃত্যু, এসো এবং আমায় নিজের করে টেনে নাও, আমায় নিজের কাছে টেনে নাও। 5. Merriment is the sunny side of any existence. আনন্দোল্লাস যে কোনো অস্তিত্বের উজ্জ্বল দিক। The autobiography of an umbrella. Point: introduction, life after birth, conclusion, old age. I am an umbrella. I was born in a small factory in Kolkata. I was multicolored and I looked fine. After I was born, I was sent to a shop with my companions. I was made to hang from a peg, PEG, along with my brothers. I surpassed all my brothers in appearance and beauty. I dazzled in my young age. My frame was made of steel and covered with silk cloth. I could not wait to be bought by one and step out into the streets. On a May afternoon, a customer entered the shop. She was sweating sweating heavily. She chose me, paid the price, and took me away from my brothers. This separation made me feel all alone. She took me home in a cheerful mood and showed me to her husband and son. My owner worked in an office. I remained with her always on her way to office and back home. Whenever it rained, I got drenched, drenched, but I did not complain. I protected her from being drenched. On hot summer days, I was her great savior. I traveled with her by bus and train. At times, I was afraid lest she abandoned me because she was very forgetful. Now I am old and my last days remind me of old men. My soft skin, supported by iron ribs, has lost its youthful glow. My ribs have lost their former strength. My colorful skin is faded in places. My owner forsook me one day. My place was taken up by a newcomer. I am conscious of impending death. Word notes: surpassed, অতিক্রম করেছিল, dazzle, ঝলমল করত, blazing, উজ্জ্বল বা তপ্ত কিরণ দিচ্ছিল, separation, বিচ্ছেদ, praised, প্রশংসা করেছিল, drenched, ভিজে গিয়েছিল, complain, অভিযোগ করা, lest, যাতে না ঘটে সেই জন্য, impending, আসন্ন. The Autobiography of a Tree. Points: Introduction, birth, life after birth, various feelings, wounds on Gnarled, Gnarled body, conclusion. I am an octogenarian, octogenarin, banyan tree. I am mossed, mossed, all over my trunk. I have so many branches to offer the tired travelers a comfortable and cool shade at noon. My friends across the world and I give humanity some of the vital amenities that make life possible on earth. Oxygen, medicine, etc. I was born from a seed. I remained low in the ground for some days. Then I opened my eyes and was greeted by the sun during spring. That time of the year the air is fresh, delicately romantic, and a pleasure to breathe. The world seemed very beautiful. I was never tired of looking at sunny nature. I stood on my feet. I played hide-and-seek games with sun rays and moonbeams. What a joy and merriment! Gradually I became matured and deep-rooted. Birds built nests among my branches and chirped, chirped, merrily. I have stood as a silent witness of varied spectacles. I have seen funeral processions passing by. Tears rolled down the cheeks of the women and men in the procession. I have seen so many wedding processions, processions of pilgrims. procession. On dark nights, dacoits and gangsters assemble beneath my branches. I have listened intently to their hushed voices, resolving to loot and murder. On the first day of the Bengali year, a fair is held in the open ground around me. It continues for a fortnight. A huge crowd of people come here from distant places. Some are so very insensitive. They inflict deep wounds on my gnarled trunk as they put up advertisements. Now I have grown very old and lost my youthful vigor and strength. One day some cruel people will chop off a good many number of my branches. I will bleed profusely from the wounds. wounds. Like human beings, I am also mortal, so I have to die. Word notes. Octogenarian Oshitipor, Gangster Durbritto, Most Shaulabhara, Expectation Protasha, Merriment Amodallad, Spectacle Drisho, Funeral Procession Ontishti Jatra, Nerd Gatwala Gronthil, Intently Nibishtobhave, Fortnight Pokhokal, Vigor Pranshokti, Mortal Moronshil. The Autobiography of a River. Points. Introduction, Origin, Description of a Long Journey, Troubles, Conclusion. Page 456. Rising from a glacier, glacier, known as Gangotri in the Himalayas thousands of years ago, I come cascading down the mountains in a torrent. Torrent. I flow over the rocky bed, forming tiny rivulets, rivulets, springs and streams. My water is icy cold but absolutely clear and pure. I am proud, triumphant, triumphant, and majestic. The Hindus consider me to be the holiest river and worship me. In the course of my long journey to the sea, I reach the plains and become a broad river with a slow but steady flow. I unite with the river Olokananda before touching the plains. Near Haridwar, I am a fair-sized stream of clear blue water there. From Haridwar, I flow to Allahabad, where I embrace the Jamuna, which originates in Garhwal, Garhwal, in the Himalayas. I am now a broad river. The confluence of our waters is a place of pilgrimage. After leaving Allahabad, I flow eastwards to Varanasi, the city of temples. I move past Ghazipur, Ghzipur, Patna, Munger, Munger, and meet the great river Brahmaputra, 140 miles away from the sea, to form the biggest delta, delta, in the world, the Sundarbans. On my western bank stands the Hooghly, and on my eastern bank stands the great city of Kolkata. My long journey comes to an end when I reach the vast sea. It is only when I reach the big cities that my troubles begin. Factories dispose the wastes into my waters. My waters have become polluted. I am no longer clean and pure. The aquatic aquatic life which I love and nurture like a mother is slowly dying. I have been a silent witness to the history of human civilization through the ages, but now I feel my days are numbered. Word notes: cascading জলপ্রপাতের স্তরে স্তরে নেমে আসা, torrent খরস্রোত, rivulets ছোট নদী, triumphant বিজয়ী, majestic প্রতাপান্বিত করা, প্রতাপান্বিত, nurture সযত্নে লালন করা, glistening চিকচিক করা. The autobiography of a coin. Points. Introduction. Glorious birth in a mint. Description of physical features. Journey to a bank and then to other places. Conclusion. You look at a shining coin and take pride in having it. But my shining and glittering face gets tarnished due to your continuous handling. I have been circulated among you for many years. The lettering embossed on my back is now faded. My face too had dulled. I am now an old coin. But I had a glorious birth in the mint. My parent was a metal strip from which my siblings and I were extracted. Then we were embossed with 2 ears of corn and the figure 1 with the words quote rupee unquote and quote 1981 unquote imprinted. It indicated the year of my birth. On the other side, the lion capital and the words Bharat in Hindi and quote India unquote in English were embossed. The figure and letters were very distinct and legible. I was proud of my smart appearance, but I have got old since then. Now you would not recognize me as the same coin. My first journey was to a bank, and that was the beginning of my active life. I was paid over the counter of a bank to a shopkeeper who wanted change. He too could not remain indifferent to my shine and admired my look. After leaving the bank, he put me into a leather bag and shut me up in a drawer. I continued to lie there for many months. I felt uneasy at the stuffy stuffy atmosphere inside the drawer. Being an introvert, I couldn't make friends quickly. An old coin said, quote, "Why are you avoiding us? A rupee is always a rupee dash, however dull may be the look of me, unquote, stop. At last, I was exchanged for 2 50-paise pieces. My new master was a miser, MISER. He kept me in a chest for almost 7 years. The only relief was that we were carried now and then into the fresh air when he counted us. One day the miser died. We were taken out by his young son. He gave me to a young lady. She soon handed me to a servant to buy chocolates. I thus rambled and rambled, RAMBLED, till I was worn out and dulled. The lettering became almost rubbed out. At last, I was sent back to the mint to be melted in a furnace and cast into new metal sheets. Now, as I lie back waiting in the mint, I realize that life is short, but waiting for death is long. Glittering চকচকে, tarnished, নিষ্প্রভ হয়ে গিয়েছিল, embossed, খোদাই করেছিল, rambled, ইতস্তত ঘুরে বেড়াচ্ছিল. 7. Paragraphs on sports and games. Some expressions conducive to writing paragraphs on sports and games. 1. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. খেলাধুলো ছাড়া শুধুমাত্র পড়াশোনা মানুষকে নির্বোধ করে দেয়। 2. Play encourages children to participate, socialize, cooperate and team up. অংশগ্রহণ, সামাজিক মেলামেশা, সহযোগিতা এবং দলগত কাজে খেলাধুলা উৎসাহিত করে। 3. Play allows children to experiment with situations and toughens them up, physically and mentally. খেলাধুলো শিশুদের নানা রকম পরিস্থিতিতে শারীরিকভাবে ও মানসিকভাবে শক্তিশালী করে তোলে। My favorite game. Points. Introduction. Why football, not cricket, is my favorite. Delightful to watch. Conclusion. Games encourage children to participate, socialize, cooperate and team up. TEAM. Games allow them to experiment with situations and toughen them up physically and mentally. Like every Bengali, I too have a craze for football. It is my passion. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. This is a reality. According to me, it is the most interesting and exciting game. No other game involves as much thrill and excitement. Even cricket is not as exciting as football. Football is a body contact game and there is constant action. Page 457. 11 players, a team battle to score goals within, printing mistake. 11 play a team battle to score goals within usually 90 minutes and a referee, REFEREE, conducts the game. The game of football develops in a player team spirit, endurance and quickness of reflexes. It involves more speed and physical agility, AGILITY, than any other game. Being a body contact game, it acts as a stimulus to the intrepid spirit of youth. The dribbling and the diagonal passes delight not only me, but also all the spectators. The spectators get involved unknowingly with the game, becoming active participants. When a skilled player like Lionel Messi, LIONEL MESSI, or Cristiano, CHRISTIANO, Ronaldo, is with the ball, he is a sheer delight to watch. With the slightest touch of a lute, with the slightest touch of a foot, they score and the stadium erupts. The disappointment and satisfaction are equally intense. This very intensity helps me to forget the drudgery, DRUDGERY, of my life for at least 90 minutes. Word notes. Participate, যোগদান করা. Socialize, সামাজিকভাবে মিশতে পারা. Cooperate, সহযোগিতা করা. Endurance, সহ্য ক্ষমতা. Tussle, হাতাহাতি ধস্তাধস্তি করা. Stimulus, প্রেরণাদায়ক. Intrepid, সাহসী, নির্ভীক. Drudgery, একঘেয়ে খাটুনি. A football match. Points. Introduction. Description of the game. Skill of the key players. Conclusion. To see a football match is always an exciting experience for football lovers. They forget the drudgeries of daily existence for the hour. Passion for football is in my blood. The other day I saw a football match between Kamarpukur RK Mission MP School and Joyrambati Ramakrishna Sharoda Vidyapith. The match started at 4 p.m. Kamalesh Sen, the centre forward of Kamarpukur RK Mission High School, flew ahead with the ball. He received support from the left winger Shobhik. He was closely chased by the defence of Joyrambati Ramakrishna Sharoda Vidyapith, but he tackled them with an elegant dodge, DODGE. He made a pass near the goal, but none of his teammates were in the correct position. He shuffled his position continuously and tried to open the goal account. Kamalesh was creating magic with the football at his feet. He was a sheer delight to watch. The goalkeeper of Joyrambati Ramakrishna Sharoda Vidyapith made some excellent saves, SAVES. At last, Kamalesh drew first blood for his team in 18 minutes with a header, HEADER. Joyrambati's team tried hard for an equalizer, but there was no scorer in his team to net a goal. In the 23rd minute, Kamarpukur's team was awarded a penalty. Deepak, their stopper, fired the second from the penalty kick. The breakthrough for Joyrambati School came after the interval. Joyrambati's right winger Rajesh ran an excellent solo run through the right wing. He passed the ball diagonally. Pramothesh, a player of Joyrambati team, received the ball. He pushed forward to Dipten, the striker of his team, and the shot went home. The margin of his side reduced was in the 30th minute. It seemed that the game would end in a draw. Towards the end of the game, Kamalesh swerved, SWERVED, past a rushing defender and lashed a left foot drive into the corner of the net. With the goal, the match was over. Kamarpukur's team won the game by 3-1. The applause of the supporters of Kamarpukur RK Mission MP School filled the air. There was a wild cheering on their side. Joyrambati Ramakrishna Sharoda Vidyapith team looked sad. Kamalesh was declared man of the match. The players left the ground. The crowd thinned, THINNED, away. I went home in a jubilant mood. My school team had won, WON, the match. What joy! Mark of exclamation. Word notes: drew first blood, প্রাণ সঞ্চার করলো, swerved, গতিপথ পরিবর্তন করলো, jubilant, উল্লসিত. A cricket match that you have enjoyed. Points: introduction, description of the play of both sides, conclusion. Cricket is a gentleman's game. Two teams of 11 players confront each other. The umpire, UMPIRE, tosses a coin. The winner of the toss chooses either to bat or field first. The side which scores more runs wins. 6 deliveries are made in an over. The other day, I witnessed a cricket match between our school 11 and the town club in our playground. Here 11 is capital X, capital I. There was a huge gathering. The sun shone bright. The outfield was green, but the wicket was hard. The match began at 10 a.m. Our school team won the toss and selected to bat. Two openers were out in the field. Amol, the captain of our team, was one of them, and another was Robin. He played some glorious pull shots and covered drives. They made 70 in the opening partnership. Bimal was sent on to replace Robin. Amol and Bimal kept the scoreboard ticking along nicely with some aggressive AGGRESSIVE running between the wickets. 3 hours passed by. Amol scored a century and his batting was a sheer delight to watch. He treated the town club bowling with utter disdain. After he was run out, wickets fell at regular intervals, though the scoreboard kept moving. The total score was 270 all out. Then the town club went in at 2:30 p.m. The captain of the town club was a prolific scorer. He showed his class by scoring an elegant 60. His steady little innings was over when he was out caught behind. But the other players could not play very well. Their scoring rate was also very slow. Their innings stood at 180 runs when they had used up their allotted overs. So our school team won by 90 runs. We jumped with joy and hugged each other in jubilation. Amol, the captain of our team, was declared the man of the match. It was the perfect end to a perfect day. Word notes: confront, সম্মুখীন হওয়া, aggressive, আগ্রাসী, prolific, প্রচুর পরিমাণে উৎপাদনশীল, disdain, উপেক্ষা, elegantly, সুরুচিপূর্ণভাবে. Page 458. My favorite player. Points. Introduction. Role as a skipper. SKIPPER. As an opener. As a bowler. As a leader. Consistency. Comfortable among fans. Conclusion. Sourav Sourav Ganguly was once the king of Indian cricket. He has retired from international cricket. But he is my most favorite cricketer. The reasons are obvious. OBVIOUS. He led India to a convincing victory against South Africa in a one-day series when India had been reeling, REELING, under a string of defeats. This victory inspired the talented Indian team. Sourav was always a special batsman, but he now proved that he had the vision of a great leader. He cannot be assessed ASSESSED by statistics only. He cannot be evaluated in terms of the runs he scored or the wickets he claimed. As an opener, he could anchor the innings with comfort. We found that when he reverted to pinch hitting in one-day matches, he was comfortable too. In tests, TESTS, T capital, he was a left-headed middle order. He was a left-handed, printing mistake, middle order batsman. He was endowed with the silken touch in his off-side play. As a bowler, he was also a wicket-taker. He could move the new ball both ways, but there is no denying that he had some limitations as a fielder. As a leader, he always displayed a positive attitude. He kept his chin up and inspired his players to do the same. Very few Indian cricketers before him played the game so aggressively. Even in an adverse situation, his leadership reflected a lot of positive attitude. OFF, off the field, he always had time for his fans and well-wishers. Shourab was the media's delight. He always talked straight from his heart. He is an icon, ICON, and a constant source of inspiration for 1 million of cricketers in a country where cricket is a religion. Word notes. Convincing প্রত্যয়জনক, রিলিং টলমল করেছিল, assessed যাচাই করেছিল, statistics পরিসংখ্যান, aggressively aggression, adverse প্রতিকূল, icon আদর্শ মূর্তি. Value of sports or necessity of physical fitness points. Introduction, importance of fitness, conclusion. The word sport, S-P-O-R-T, all in capital letters, may be said to stand for 5 elements: sincerity, punctuality, obedience, regularity, and tenacity. These are also the essential qualities of a person to prosper in life. Thus, sport is a way to physical fitness, and it has an important role in man's life. The proverb runs, quote, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, unquote, stop. Sports and games refresh us and supply fresh vigor. It makes someone physically fit and mentally alert. It must be remembered that wealth or education is of little use to a person who suffers from ill health. So, sports or physical exercise is a must. But over-exercise and wrong choice of exercise may be harmful. In this respect, the advice of an expert in physical education is quite useful. Sports and exercises help us to remain fit and live longer. They shape and tone our bodies. Walking and deep breathing are also good exercises. A few minutes and a small open space are enough for it. The importance of sports and games have been emphasized by medical science. Sport is an excellent source of recreation. It freshens our mind and enlivens our spirit. There are different kinds of sports like football, cricket, athletics, ATHLETICS, swimming, SWIMMING, tennis, TENNIS, etc. Even some indoor sports like table tennis or badminton keep body fit, while playing chess increases one's intelligence and concentration. So, games and sports have a great importance in man's life. They help to improve the quality of our life. It also improves our skill, spirit of discipline, sense of cooperation, and team spirit. A true sportsman accepts both triumph and defeat in good grace. Great sports personalities like Roger, R-O-G-E-R, Federer, F-E-D-E-R-E-R, Lionel Messi, and Sachin Tendulkar are icons for millions of young people. They are also the ambassadors of goodwill and cooperation that sports ensure. Word notes: tenacity, dhoicho, enthusiasm, utshaho uddipana, ambassadors, duto brindo. Next, number 8, miscellaneous.